We have with us a little surprise today. The Modern Day Maharaja. That's my best imitation of what I heard from the Singh brothers.
That's pretty good. If one of the Singh brothers is ever calls in sick one day, I know who to call to fill in.
2 days to go. WWE Live India.
Yes.
How are you feeling? Are you ready to play the game?
Of course I'm ready. This is the biggest match of my career at the biggest event. I mean, this is going to be a huge event. WWE Live, presented by Sony Pictures Networks. You know, we have Braun Strowman versus Kane. We have Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. We have the women's match, Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. But the headline, the King of Kings versus the Modern Day Maharaja. And we will see who will reign that night. And I'm pretty sure he might be sitting next to you.
It simply doesn't get any better than that. Have you been a fan of the game, the King of Kings? You've seen him growing up probably.
Of course.
Have you noticed anything in his armoury that maybe you're going to exploit tomorrow?
No, of course I grew up watching Triple H, idolizing someone like Triple H from his time with DX, or even before that when he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley, or even I've been even watching him when he was in WCW as Terra Ryzing. So he's had a very, very storied career, and he already is a living legend, I would say. And in his interview, he said his job now is to ensure that the next generation of WWE superstars are up to par. He is the measuring stick. So I look forward to testing myself where I measure up against the game Triple H. But I competed with him on the same show a couple weeks ago in South America, and this is the same Triple H that I've been seeing for years. He hasn't missed a step. He is still the same game that he was back then. Now he's always in great shape, always in great conditioning. He's tough as nails, and he is a very, very dangerous opponent. I'm not taking him lightly. This is my biggest match in my career, but I need to make a statement on Saturday night.
Biggest match in his career, but he will make a statement. Let's take a bit of a flashback. Let's go back to a glorious time when you were India's first WWE champion and you got the title back home. How was that entire experience? Just 6 months as champion. You had unbelievable matches against Randy Orton, Nakamura. Yeah. How was that reign?
Oh, it was amazing. It was a dream come true. I grew up thinking one day, watching guys like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and The Rock, become WWE champion, and to think that someday I would hold that same championship as, guys like Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, Bruno Sammartino. So many legends have held. To think that my name would be on that list of only 50 superstars, that blows my mind. But I look forward to regaining that WWE Championship because AJ Styles took advantage of me. I was preparing for a match against Brock Lesnar. I was going to become the Beastmaster. But I have my rematch at Clash of Champions, which you can watch on Sony 10-1 HD. I really wish I could defend the WWE Championship right now on this event, but I promise you next time I will be WWE Champion.
It really takes a lot of guts to call out Brock Lesnar like you did. And similarly, you were supposed to face Kevin Owens this time, but there's a change of plans. So how do you adapt when there's a sudden change of plans like that? Because I'm sure there's a different game plan for every wrestler.
That's part about being a WWE superstar. You have to be willing, not only willing, but able to adapt on the fly. Anything can change at any moment. That's what makes WWE so special. Like, nobody expected AJ Styles to beat me on SmackDown Live there in England. The whole crowd reaction, blew my mind as I was sitting there suffering the effects of a phenomenal forearm, but I could hear the roar of the crowd. That's what we live for as WWE superstars. It's that unpredictability. Just like when I beat Randy Orton, everybody's jaw hit the floor. So, something like that could happen at the WWE event here in India on December 9th. I think that's what makes WWE very cool and very special.
Wonderful. You spoke about, last time you spoke about participating at Starrcade, and you were really looking forward to that. How was that experience?
It was a very great experience. Some of the legends were there. Ricky Steamboat was there. Rock and Roll Express was there. Ric Flair was there. I actually sat under Dusty Rhodes' learning tree, so to speak, when I was in FCW to compete at an event that he created. That event was paying homage to Dusty Rhodes. They played an excellent video package leading up to it. Goldust wrestled as Dustin Rhodes that night. That was very cool. And I was in the main event against AJ Styles in a cage match. It was, I've had cage matches in the past, but that was my first cage match in WWE. It was a great event. Unfortunately, AJ Styles came out on top, unlike what will happen at Clash of Champions.
So we're going to head to a bit of a rapid fire.
Rock. AJ Styles, I got to give it to him. I know this is more than one word, but he really is a worthy opponent. He's very, very tough. And he's unpredictable. You don't know if he's going to come at you off the top rope or tie you up in a submission. I would say AJ Styles. Charlotte. Advice that I got at a young age when I was early in my career was keep your mouth closed and your ears and your eyes open. And I still follow this. I'm still a student of the game. When I'm around guys like Ric Flair, Ricky the Steamboat, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, when I'm in the locker room as them, I'm not saying anything. I'm just listening because, man, the stories that they have or the advice that they give, they're on a whole nother playing field. And hopefully I aspire to be at that level one day. Corvette car, yeah.
Special gift to yourself.
Yeah.
Something interesting came up. Roman Reigns recently said in an interview that he is the best wrestler on the roster today. What would you have to say about that?
You know what? I honestly think every WWE superstar believes that, and you have to think that way to be successful in WWE. I think I'm the best. Roman Reigns thinks he's the best. AJ Styles thinks he's the best. Randy Orton thinks he's the best. Nakamura thinks he's the best. Cena thinks he's the best. That's what makes these guys, myself included, elite WWE superstars. We're top tier because we have the confidence. We have the confidence in our abilities in and outside of the ring. You have to think like that. You can't think, that someone else is higher than you, because they will be. If you want to be at the top, you have to think you are at the top.
Recently, we saw something interesting. You were seen dishing out the Maharaja's punishment to the Singh brothers after they lost the handicap game match against AJ Styles. We spoke to them earlier and they said everything's good and it's in the family. What would you have to say?
Yeah, no, everything is good. I know a lot of reports were saying, they're separate from me. No. Singh brothers are very loyal. They showed their loyalty many times, including the Punjabi prison match or, countless other times. They always have my back. But unfortunately, they were representing the Maharaja. They had a job to do, and they did not. And unfortunately, they had to suffer some consequences. But they're still there. They're still in my corner. They will be there in my corner December 9th against Triple H. And they will be there in my corner when I get my rematch against AJ Styles. They're very loyal, and I must commend them for that. They have sacrificed themselves time and time again, and for that, I thank them.
Just going to wrap it up. Last question. December 9th, when you're going to walk into the IGI, it's going to be a very different atmosphere, right? The fans are going to be behind you. How are you looking forward to that? And what's your message for the Indian fans that are going to come out there and support you? I
cannot wait to hear the reception. I have a special robe being designed by the famous designer Nari. Can't wait to see what that's going to be like. But I want everybody to come out, show their support, whether it's for me or Triple H. It does not matter. Get your tickets at bookmyshow.com. Let's make this a blockbuster sellout event.
Last favorites. You're a fan of Punjabi music, so Diljit Singh or Mika?
You know what, both. And Mika's actually a good friend of mine. I was just texting with him. But they're both very good. I like all Punjabi music. They're just like performed WWE superstars. You said, they all say they're the best. They all have to think like that. Same with our musicians. They're all the best.
I'm not going to take any more of your time. December 9th, we're looking forward and we're going to be in the stands cheering for you. Jinder Mahal on Sportskeeda. It's been an absolute pleasure catching up with him.
This is the Modern Day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal, and please subscribe to Sportskeeda YouTube channel.